Everybody, sorry. Cooling down my throat, it's a little sore. What a freezy, it's a hot day too. Okay, what did Bergevin say? Anyways, oh, okay, people are starting to come in. Yeah, it was interesting. They definitely don't have that much of an inside knowledge of whether or not it'll get matched. Yeah, I mean, Bergevin looked a little bit testy with the media. He must have gotten berated by the Carolina GM, who wasn't too happy with the offer sheet, and he said he's going to take his time to let them know. Sound like he was going to match, but I don't think that means anything. So, well, hey Trent, he's hinting at it, but I don't know if that means for sure. I think he would have to hint at it. He didn't sound too happy. Some of the stuff I've heard. Okay, I don't know where you watched the Bergevin's press conference. On TSN, they cut it off. I went on to the radio station, and they had a lot more of it. And then I listened a little longer. I love Mitch Melnick, and I wanted to hear what he had to say, and a couple of the experts had to say about it. So, from what I can tell, it's still iffy if they're going to match it. Some people think they can't afford to match it, as far as can they actually afford to match it, and then can they afford not to match it. So I don't know. I'm a little disappointed that he's kind of playing it well. This is our shot, because if they're going to match, I mean, it screws them up. And the guy said, the way he's hinting he's going to match, he wants to make them wait so they can't sign anybody else. That's what he hinted at. But I don't know. He didn't sound like he said that with confidence or with authority. So he could just be saying that because he doesn't really know yet. And he's got to say the right thing. Let's see now. It's the owner's last day since it's his $21 million he has to pay. Last say. It's the owner's last say. Yeah. Well, 100%. It's they were gonna have to sign the guy to something, so it's a little more of his money, but I mean it's salary. It's all you got to pay. You got to keep your cap going or your roster paid. But yeah, it's probably more money than they wanted to give him. I didn't really like his answer for why they didn't go a little higher to make sure that, although he said with his research, they knew that this was the way to go. So I don't know. I kind of think Carolina kind of has to match them, but I don't know if they can. That's the thing, is if they can. If they can, will they? Yeah, of course they will. So if they match, does that mean Aho automatically goes to Carolina, or does he still get a choice? No, he doesn't get a choice. No, the only thing is that if they match, they cannot just turn around and trade him to someone else. They have to keep him for 1 year before they can trade him. So they're pissed off at him that he signed an offer sheet. They still have to keep him for next season. Carolina only has revenues of $25 million per year. No, look, they don't have a ton of money. So the thing is, really, can they afford to get rid of him or let him go? I don't know. That's going to be what they have to ask themselves. Can they afford to let him go? We have to match at all costs. That might be their headspace, and then they're going to match. Lee back to the Isles. Okay, I hadn't heard that because I've been listening to the stuff on the radio about this stuff. So I hadn't heard anything. I'm going to just put it down a bit. I'll leave that on. Sorry. Yeah, not surprised. Remember I said they might circle back to get Lee since they couldn't get Panarin. Lee, 7 years, $49 million with the Isles. Well, so that was at the limit that I said I wouldn't go higher than that. So yeah, and I'm not surprised it's at $7 million a year because I don't think. I mean, I don't think he's worth $9 million yet. Maybe if he. Well, it's a 7-year contract. I doubt he's going to get that after. But I didn't think he was a $9 million. Izelis, is that Izelis 181? I haven't seen that name before. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. I feel like this is a desperate move by Montreal because they couldn't sign anyone else. Look, it's possible. I wasn't very satisfied with his answers about it, really. He's right in that it's they have the option. It's in the collective bargaining agreement, and his responsibilities to the Habs and to Jeff Molson and all that. But it's not something that's very. Carolina won't deal with us again after this. That's for sure. And we'll let other teams like will he get blackballed? I hope not. I wish it was more of a calculated move than it seems to be. Their owner just lost $70 million in a football team as well, or so. Yeah, no, it's true. The owner isn't. That's why they did this. They know that there's a good possibility that he won't be able to match. They're getting 3 draft picks in return, so maybe they let Aho go. He wants to play Montreal next year, not Carolina. Yeah, I know, but it's a business. It does that stuff doesn't really come into play, unfortunately, Johnny. You know that. You know that. Come on. And look, the 3 draft picks are nice, but I don't know. Is Sebastian Aho's worth more than that? I mean, realistically, right? There was a source that said Al probably only signed this offer sheet to get the money and the length he wanted and didn't care which team he ends up on. Well, I think that, you know what, whether that's true or not, that would have been out there anyway. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, I say. I think this would be a team he'd be interested in because of the other Finnish guys. So I don't know about that. And of course, he wants the money. Of course, he's getting it all up front. Why wouldn't he want that? That was the enticement to get him to sign and to get them not to match. Yeah, I don't know how the hockey guy does. I don't know if he's still live streaming or not. I don't know how he live streams and he puts videos out. I'm going to try to put a video out after this. So this evening, just recapping what happened today. Nothing too major. I'm going to try to just talk off the top of my head and not have to script it because I'm kind of tired. I got to tell you, I never would have thought this, but talking for 3 hours makes you tired. I was eating lunch like I was an athlete. It was funny. Yeah. Trent. Yeah, okay, I read that. What might force Carolina's hand is, do they make the playoffs without Aho? If not, they lose the playoff revenue. Very true. Very true. And considering they just made the playoffs with Aho, yeah, I imagine they're going to try to match. But again, it's the question of can they? If he can't, all that doesn't matter because he can't match. But I would believe they're going to try to match. This guy is a stud. This guy is your big player. He's your big man on campus. I'm aging myself with that. Okay, guys, you're going to have to ask me more. I'm tired. I don't know, like my head's going to think up things to say. Oh, wait, I got something there. Yeah, so the owner lost all that money lately, so my throat's going. So I don't see how he wants to spend another $21 million out of his pocket in a year. No, I agree, and I'm sure that's what they're banking on. They did their research. They knew that this was their shot. I mean, and to the point where he says he's the guy they were targeting. I mean, we know that they were targeting. Excuse me, guys, that they were targeting Braden Point. So he's also their second choice, but because they knew that Carolina would probably not be able to match on that basis, that's why they shifted gears over to Aho. Because exactly, I mean, the guy just lost a lot of money. You think he wants to put out another $21 million right away? I agree with that. I don't know how rich he is. I don't know anything. I mean, the guy could have billions, and what's 70 million, what's 20 million? It's nothing. But I don't know. Okay, Woody replied, pens. What's pens? Okay, sorry, that's on a video. I don't know why I said that. Let's see. I can't see Carolina letting Aho go, considering it's their best player and it's not the biggest contract to match. It's their best player. To say it's not the biggest contract to match, it depends where you're coming from, right? You have to add some context into that and go, well, does he have the money to match? If you don't, and you're really stretching and you've got to send other people away and all that, then you don't have the money to match. It's not a small contract. So, yeah, I mean, it depends. I don't know who the owner is. I don't know much about Carolina, honestly. Um, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of tired, so you guys are gonna have to help me here. If we're gonna make it to 5:30, you're gonna have to help me. My brain's not gonna think of stuff to say. I can answer questions. I can do that, no problem. But I'm getting tired. Um, Levi says to Trent that dang. So Bergevin really did. Yeah, they did their research. They did. I don't think you make a move like that without being relatively confident in that fact. You don't necessarily have to have an inside track, but if you've done your research and you can make a judgment, and they must be pretty certain that he won't. I hope, but it didn't seem like they were certain anyway. But it's the reason they made this offer because they don't think he can match. Yeah, Trent. Yeah, it's the signing bonuses. Yeah, yeah. His salary is nothing. It's under $1 million each year. There's signing bonuses every year. Even in the last two, it's 5 point something million each year. I think it's six something in the wait 1, 2, 3. Anyways, I'm not sure, but the signing bonuses are every year, and he's got low salary, which is kind of like a Shea Weber contract. Shea Weber has a very similar contract, and I'm not sure if he was offer sheeted and Nashville had to match that. I kind of thought I heard something about that. If they don't get Aho, do you think Berg panics and makes a bad trade? Well, he said no. He said he thinks he has a pretty good team. Not to say they won't make a trade, but I hope he won't panic into making a trade and make a bad one. But I mean, there's no other option. This doesn't pan out, you can only all the good guys are going to be gone by next week. Yeah, he's going to have to go the trade route if he wants to improve the team. If he just wants to, add a piece here or there, that's a different story. But yeah, it's a gamble. It's a gamble he took. Oh, sorry, I was thirsty. So it was a gamble he took, but it's a player they really want. And he's right about the fact that he's 21 years old. It's not like you've had to wait for him and he's 26, he's 27. You're getting a guy at 21 who is already a star. He hasn't gotten into his prime. I think even now the prime's starting a little younger, like at 24. So he's very close to his prime. And hopefully you can re-sign him after the 5 years. And yeah, but he's a guy that really fits into this team. Age-wise, all that stuff, he really fits in. Bergevin played this smart. Even if they do match, it will put Carolina in hell with their fines. Yeah, that's true. But it's not going to make him popular amongst the rest of the GMs. I don't know if it's worth it for that. There's also the fact that Montreal and Carolina can still make a trade, but the deal itself can't be changed. No. Okay, but wait a second. First of all, do you think Carolina is going to want to trade with Montreal after this? No. And he cannot be traded, not even to Montreal, for 1 year. So, But no, you think Carolina is going to want to trade with them, though? I don't think so. Yeah, if they match the offer, he can't be traded until a year later, right? And like really, what are the odds they're going to trade him to Montreal? Zero, 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 big zero. I don't know how to do it with not a peace or an okay sign, but yeah, zero chance they're going to trade with Montreal again. So do you still think the Habs will be able to get a left defenseman? Well, through trade. Yeah. By the way, I just thought of something. This offer sheet's almost a payback to the Hurricanes. If you remember, or maybe a lot of you don't remember, I'm trying to think of what year it was. 97? No, 2006. 2006. Habs played Carolina in the playoffs, and Williams there, Justin Williams, nearly took out Saku Koivu's eye, totally throwing off Montreal's chances in the playoffs, and they were looking good that year. This is payback for that. That's how I'm looking at it. If we don't get him, and even if we do get him, it's still payback. So now left defenseman. Yeah, I mean they can still trade. You know, there's the TJ Brody is still out there. I don't know if the Islanders will still want to trade Nick Leddy or not. I don't know, and I don't even know how serious that was exactly. But so there might be that. Their owner said that if they do match, they will wait as long as possible because, yeah, of course they're going to do that. I mean, it's nice to know that they could have done it right away, but they're not going to. Even if they're not going to match, they're going to make them wait and suffer and wait, and not know, and not be able to do anything else either at all. Even like smaller deals, they're not really going to be able to. They know. Yeah, so I mean, I can't blame the guy. I wouldn't. I mean, and that's my point too. Like, how popular or unpopular is Bergie right now? He's got to be pretty unpopular, which is probably why he was so testy with the media. When I was setting up for this next stream, so I wasn't paying attention behind me, but it had started, and I turned around, and he was like he snapped at somebody, and I don't remember what the question was, but that's what caught my attention was the way he snapped at them, and I was like, oh yeah. He must be taking heat already from the other teams or something. Or that conversation with Don Waddell must have not gone very friendly, that's for sure. Berg said he would use the 10% cap cushion if he had to. Well, yeah, they have that 10% cap cushion, but they have to come back down by training camp. But yeah, they have that. They can do that, which is where the Vegas Golden Knights are like right up against that. So that's why they have to reduce so much. But I mean, do you really want to get there? I don't really want to get there. So I mean, if he's saying that they still might go out and sign somebody, and then still be able to get Aho, go over the 10% over the in-season cap, and reduce through trade before the season starts, it's an option. But then they're ready. They're right up against the cap. And then what's going to happen next year when you got to, people need to get paid? Where are you going to get the money from? More people have to go. This is what I don't like about these high-priced guys. I really hope we get Aho. I do, but I'm trepidatious about the cap. That's the only thing that bugs me. But I really want to get Aho. Like, as far as a player coming here, I really want to get this guy, yes. Will Montreal have the strongest centers in the league with Aho in the lineup? They're going to be close, if not the strongest. They're damn well going to be close. And if not this year, soon. Imagine we get Aho, and then so we got Paling, Kokanyemi, and Deneau. Because Thompson, he's here a year or two, okay. And then what if Suzuki comes up as a center? You got to get rid of Deneau probably at that point or something. But then we'll have, imagine the strongest four centers in the league. We could dream. It's been a long time since Montreal can dream about having centers that are competent, all four of them. I can't even remember the last time. It's been that long. Not right now, but maybe in the future. That's damn straight. But again, got to stay the course. And that course gets harder to stay on when you bring in a guy like Aho for that kind of money and you screw up your cap. But if you're just bringing in Aho, it's what, 8 point something? You still have what, $5 million left on the cap? It's a bit of space at least. So it's not the end of the world, but I don't know if you can bring in a left-hand D without a trade. Let's see. Wait, where did I go? Canes won't match 21 million in signing bonus. That's the gamble. That's the gamble. I feel like a lefty would have been better than Aho. You can argue the fact that their D wasn't that great, that bad last year. Overall, it wasn't that bad last year. And Aho definitely helps you and probably fixes your power play problem. So I don't know. I guess to me that's an even or an either or even. It's about even. So yeah, you don't improve the D, but then now you're less hurt. You're not hurting yourself up front as much as you were last year, and you start scoring some power play goals, some more wins. You got your backup goalie that you just signed, helping get a few extra wins. No, I don't know. It's an interesting question, and we'll have to see what happens. If it doesn't work, it would be funny if they go after Marner. No, I can pretty much guarantee you if this doesn't work, they're not doing another offer sheet. They may match, but it will be hard on them as they only make just over that in a year. No, I get that. But, I mean, if you were them, you would do everything you could probably to match that offer. You would have to. But it doesn't mean that you can do it. With Alsner and Weiss sent to Laval, it's an extra $2.5 million in cap. Plus, next year, they will be able to. First of all, Weiss, I think, is one more year. I think he's one more year signed, so that would be gone. And Alsner, you can buy him out next year, where you couldn't this year because of the cap hit. If you bought him out this year, the cap hit next year for Alsner would have been over $4 million, and you can't do that. But next year, to buy him out, that doesn't happen. So you save a little bit there. And then the year after that, hopefully the cap goes up quite a bit because of the new TV deal. So, yeah, I mean, this is what they got to be seeing and what they're planning around, right? It's not that we see that and they don't see that. They have to understand all those things, too. Drouin, Aho, Caulfield. Yeah, well, you're jumping on Caulfield. I can pretty much say if Aho's going to be here, Caulfield's not coming up next year. No. But the year after, that's different, yeah. So, yeah, I would say that. If they bring in a guy like Aho, you're not getting Caulfield this year. There's not going to be enough room, number one. And, yeah, I don't think you are. Unless he totally kills it at camp. If he comes into training camp and the preseason and all that, and he just kills it, you got to keep him. You got no choice. But other than that, yeah. Next year, Steve Mason's buyout is off the books. That's right. There's another one. Yeah. So I mean, imagine that's what they're thinking. These are the things that aren't talked about a lot, but they know all this stuff. So that must be where they're going when they think about the cap. So they can go. So maybe they're gonna still sign somebody if they can. Although Lee is gone, who's left up front that's still out there? I don't know. They're not offer sheeting Marner, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, I don't know if I can find out who's still out there. Do you guys want to help me out with that? Who's still out there up front that we'd be interested in signing? I haven't been able to pay close enough attention to the TV behind me. Yeah, we said that they can't trade Aho for another year if they match. They have to keep him. And believe me, at that point, they might be upset with him because he caused all this by signing. Excuse me. I've got a bit of the hiccups. I better drink. Okay. Habs had 3 needs this offseason. Left D, power play, and backup goalie. With Kincaid, and if we get Aho, we would solve 2 of the 3. And that's not bad. 100%, I agree with you. That's why if they get Aho, they can do things where, and that's why they signed Riley again as a backup plan. Not that he'd be the main guy in the third pairing, but just to have a little more depth there in case they don't get the guy on lefty that they want. I think there is a Lonnie Marner deal happening. I don't think so. I don't think so. I totally expect Marner to excuse me to get to be re-signed by Toronto. I don't see Marner going anywhere. Lonnie might be a different story though. Lonnie's a little more iffy as far as production this last year. Maybe the year before could have been a fluke, and maybe this last season was more. Although it was still good, it might not be the loftiness of the year before. They also have to sign Kyle Connor, how Renegade Man just put in there, just so the Jets have that problem there too. So yeah, Lonnie might. Marner's going to be a Leaf. I'd be really shocked if Marner's not a Leaf. I could see Laine ending up somewhere else though, although still unlikely. We still have Romanov and Struble to look forward to on lefty. Romanov for sure. Struble is a little bit farther down the road though. You got to admit, Trent, right? I know people think Struble next year or the year after. I don't see that. Struble's 2-3 years down the road. Dane, how much more in that position, Trent? That we have for Montreal, we just drafted like 5 of them. But how many of them are going to be up anytime soon? Even Struble, I don't know. Struble has some work to do. And don't forget, Struble was just playing in high school. He's got a little bit to go. Not too many kids come up at a high school and make it right away. The only one comes off the top of my head is Joe Thornton. I think he did that, but I don't know of anybody else. Leskinen looked really well. There you go. And Leskinen did look good in camp. He looks like the big knock on him when they signed him at first, and I did some research into him. The big knock on him was his defensive play. I saw a really nice 2-on-1 break where he played it right, and with a really well-timed poke check, boom, he turned the puck over, right? So I think he's improving on his defense. And then I did read about that his defense, somebody scout thought his defense was starting to come along. So Leskinen's an option because apparently on power play, the guy's a beast on power play. So yeah. So yeah, it's a possibility we don't pick up that big name left shot defenseman, and we go from within. And pretty much they're going to have to kind of save money if they get Aho. Come on. Oh, Ray. Come on. You're going to hit your head. You're going to hit your head, dog. Come on. I have a little dog who doesn't know how to jump sometimes. I don't know. The balcony door's open, so she loves to go bark at people and dogs, but so she must have seen something that made her all excited. She wants to go for another walk, but it's too early. But she's a young girl, so she's only 2 years old. Okay, off topic. If the Flyers chose Caulfield at the draft, do you think Habs would pick York? I heard they were high as well. I like to think they would have taken Newhook, and if not Newhook, Krebs. But I imagine a possibility would have been York, yeah. I'm not saying they wouldn't have, but I would have liked them to have taken Newhook if that was the case. Since Newhook went just behind them, so he was still available. But yeah, I didn't think the Flyers would take Caulfield, really. I thought the Flyers would go for Newhook or Krebs. So I was surprised they went for York. Yeah, that would have what was I asking? Okay, Trent, hang on. Okay, I got lost there. Well, you said something about Fairbrother. Oh, Fairbrother is another one to look forward to. Yeah, I like what I saw from Fairbrother at the development camp, I have to admit. But again, another guy who he's still a couple of seasons away at the earliest for making the team. But I did like what I saw from Fairbrother. He definitely stood out. Where did Gardner sign? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about Gardner. Anybody know where Gardner signed? I must have missed it. I didn't see it's on there. They're starting to show people, but I think they passed him. Just Chiara is still out there. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear. Anybody know? Okay, he didn't sign yet. So I don't know. I don't know. Do you think the Habs? What do you guys think? Do you think the Habs sign Gardner now, or are they going to wait to see who's available after they find out about Aho? It's a good question because like, what do you do? If you wait and you don't get Aho, you get nothing. And if you sign Gardner and you get Aho, you're up against the cap issues. So I don't know. Marcus Johansson. I don't think I know that guy. Trent wants to fast forward a week to see the outcome. Yeah, or have a crystal ball or something, or a time machine, so you can go and then come back. Then you put bets down. Come on, you guys, you gotta carry me here a little bit. I'm getting tired. We're gonna go to 5:30, but at 5:30, I don't know if I can go beyond that. And basically, most of it's happened from what I could see. There's a few guys left, but most of it's happened. But anyways, not everybody gets signed on the first day, so I'm not surprised. Okay, stop. Don't do that. If we don't get Aho now, I'll be bummed. Well, you know, what are you going to do? It's not the end. It's not the end of the world. It's just a sport anyway, and they'll do something else. Zach Oakham, I don't think I've seen you out there yet. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. You think they will match the offer sheet? I know they would. They will do everything they can to match the offer sheet, but I don't know that they can match it. That's the question. I think that's more the question than do you think they will? Is can they? Because if they can, they will. I believe that. Yeah. Because let's think about it. The return of a first, a second, and a third. I don't think that makes up for an Aho. So I don't know if that was work to Montreal's advantage to not try to make it more enticing for them for the picks they're going to get, or I don't know. You might think that if they would have upped the offer less on the front end, more on the total offer, give away an extra pick, that maybe they would be enticed to say, well, let it go, let Aho go, and we'll take the picks. But I don't think 3 picks are enough for him. Just maybe 2 firsts and a second, or 2 firsts and a third, but I don't think 1. I rambled a lot there just to say that. Hey, I'm trying to get to 5:30. I think that's what I'm trying to do. No, I'm joking. I think we should have offered 9 mil per and give the 2 firsts. I think they could have gone right up to 9 mil and not beyond it, but he said, would it have made a difference? He said, if they're going to match, they're going to match. The thing is the money up front, and that's where the key is the money up front, if they can do it or not. It wasn't going to matter. He says he didn't want to give away more draft picks anyway, and he didn't. In his opinion, it wouldn't have made a difference. They can either match because the upfront money is going to stay the same. So it's whether they can match that, not necessarily how much it is every year. If you get my drift. I'm trying to see where I was. Bergie will continue to explore other things. Bergie, I think, always continues to explore things, so I don't think we have to worry about that. And I think there might still be room for him to do something on a smaller scale, maybe, but there's still players out there that he could probably get. I think we should have offered. Oh, I went through that. What about Aho? What about Aho? I don't get that. Aho. Oh, if you want to know what happened, signed to an offer sheet. He signed the offer sheet. Carolina has 7 days to match. That's it in a nutshell. If you want more detail, tell me what you want to know. Carolina has 20 million in cap space, so the cap hit was a non-issue for them. Is it 20 million? I heard 6 million. Okay, so I heard wrong. But okay, if that's the case, yeah. No, it's the upfront money. It's not the cap hit. It's the upfront money. Will Aho be the answer? Well, you take it to Kincaid. Well, long term, I mean, yeah, he's a stud. He's a #1 center. He's a guy who produces lots of points. I don't think because he produced them in Carolina, he won't in Montreal. I think maybe the opposite. He might produce a little more here. Yeah, he's the answer. He helps the power play a lot. So, yeah, he's one of the main answers. There's a lot of – this is a real team. This is not a team based on just Carey Price or just Shea Weber. This is a team based on team. Everybody contributes. Everybody pulls for one another. This is a really good team. So, no, he's not the answer, but he's part of the answer. Yeah, what about how the cap hit? No, wait, Trent, you're answering. Yeah, the cap hit was a non-issue, yes. Although our young players should be stronger this year and the backup goalie will really help the team, the Emmy cost us a couple of wins. No, definitely. And that should be Kincaid probably, I mean, you can't say 100% that Kincaid would have won those games, no. But more than likely would have won some of those games that Niemi lost. And probably would have played a couple of those games that Carey Price even lost because he was tired and he had to recharge his batteries because Niemi wasn't playing anymore. So, yeah, there's a couple of wins coming back on that. It's going to be better all around. Power play is going to be better. And I even think power play will be better next year anyway. Just how much better can they get? I'd like to see them get as good as they can get. Do I see Drouin being traded? I can see Drouin being traded. Do I actually see? I'm not sure. Not unless they fix up what's going on here. Like, he's not going to get traded before this Aho situation is fixed up. That's for sure. But, yeah, I can see him being traded this year. I may even want him to be traded this year. Come on, guys. We need some more. 18 minutes to go. You don't want me singing to you guys. You really don't. You don't want me doing that. Not a good thing. And I honestly, I don't want to break my computer camera and all that stuff by singing. The microphone, I guess I should say. Did you see the interview of Kincaid today? I caught it I had to, when I went up to walk the dog, they were playing it, and I stayed for like 30 seconds, but I had to go. So no, but he seems very happy to be here, and I think that's a great sign, and I think he's going to do well here. And he looks younger than I thought he was. So maybe he looks younger than he is, but he looks younger than I thought he was going to look. Yeah, he does seem pumped to partner with Price, yeah. I think he's very happy to be here. Yeah, and that's always a great sign. Although everybody says that when they just sign, but I mean, any prospects going to make the team besides Paling? John, hey, someone asked me that before, wasn't you? Suzuki has a chance. Who is else I was thinking? I guess Josh Brook has a chance. Suzuki, Josh Brook, Paling. No, Paling, first of all, I think he's on the team. So I think it's Suzuki and Josh Brook have a good chance to play some amount of time here this year, if not make the team full out. I don't know. I think Caulfield has a chance to play a few games here at the beginning of the season to get his maybe up to 9 games in, see how he does. Also depending on how his training camp goes. Other than that, no, I don't really think so. Not that there are guys that could maybe do it. I just don't think they will get the opportunity. What are the teams that impress you the most at free agent day? Oh, God, please don't ask me that now. I'm going to do a video. Hopefully it's going to come out tonight, and it's basically going to be on that. I want to go over what happened. Off the top of my head right here, I don't know. I'm not even clear on where everybody went 100%. I don't want to say that. But I will be doing a video about this. It should be my next video. So I can only say, and it's not to get people to watch my videos. It's not that, but look for it, and it should be that answer should be in there because it's really hard to tell. And free agent day is not really over. It's not just a one day. But if you want to go at the end of the day, I can pretty much say, okay, today with what happened today, I can say who I thought maybe did better. Apparently, he only met with Montreal. I don't know. I thought he had met with one or two other teams, but okay, that's good. I'm glad that made it easier to sign him and for a lower price. Let's see. Wait, where is this going? Okay, not back. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find where I was last. Okay, well, Trent says, I'm really excited for next season with or without Aho, as am I. With or without Aho, we're on the right track and things are exciting. Yukon Mapper, what a name. All right. Since we signed Kincaid, where do you think the rest of our young goaltenders in our systems go? Well, I think Primo, I would like to see Primo be the #1 starter in Laval. And I think since Kincaid is here, I think, you might see Lindgren or a McNiven trade. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen. But I'd like to see Primo being groomed to make the team and be the backup to start with, but to be eventually the starter. So I'd like to see him start for the full season in Laval. And hopefully I caught everybody. Oh, Lacouvé, I don't know. So I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to say anything about him. They need goaltenders all through their system, so they'll work out somewhere. But for the Laval and Montreal, that's how I see those guys. Let's say we end up getting Aho. You think we're able to keep both Armia and Lehkonen, or do you think we see one or both leaving? Well, see here. So you get Aho, but there's still some more room left on the cap. And yeah, you got to sign Armia and Lehkonen. And then next year, you've got to maybe re-sign Domi. You've got money. That's why it makes it hard, but there are things that are coming along, Alzner being bought out next year, this and that and this, that add to the cap space that we have. So we'll be okay. But it means that you probably can't go out and find somebody else right now. You're kind of shooting your load for Aho here. I hope that doesn't sound perverse, but you know what I mean? You're counting on Aho working out and then doing other things that are smaller after it or around it. Oh, where was I again? Sorry. Excuse me. We have 4 goalies in the... Okay, I'm not sure what you said. He said the go, so it's a typo, I guess. We have 4 goalies in the go right now, so some have to be moved. Yeah. Well, I think one of them is going to have to be moved. Like if it's not Lindgren, it's going to be McNiven, I guess, or Lacouvé. But they're going to have to move somebody because there's too many. Oh, in the AHL, good. Okay, I knew it wasn't a go. Don't worry. Do you personally think we will get Aho? I have no way to answer that without saying I hope so. Only the week will tell. I wish I could say. I said I don't have inside information. I don't have those connections that I could have a really educated guess at it. I'm really guessing the way you and I get the information you guys do. I may go out and research a little more than you do to get more of it, but it's the same thing. I don't have any insider information, no. But I'll say this, that if Bergevin did his research right and they read the situation right, then I think we really could get him, yeah. Twitter, according to Forbes, Habs made $90 million at the gate, operating income $102 million. Kane's $27 million at the gate, 3.9. Yeah. Dundon does not like to spend. This team makes zero money. Well, look, I agree with it. But if you balance that, if you're a businessman and you balance that and say, well, but if we don't do it, how does that affect us going forward in losing fans at the gate and losing that. And that might be this deciding factor for them and say, well, if we let Aho go, our gate goes down, our disc, everything goes down, and it's disastrous. So if we bite the bullet and sign him and whatever and match his offer, you don't lose all that other thing and everything they've built. So that's how you have to look at it from their point of view. I think it's a business. He has to run it like a business. Sometimes they say to make money, you have to spend money. This is one of those times where you might have to say, I've got to spend this money because overall it's going to make me more money around everything else. That's a long-winded way of answering your question. Sorry about that. I just saw something on Twitter that no players in Carolina have signing bonuses on their contracts, which shows that the owner does not like to spend his own money. Right, which is why Canadians did what they did. They know this was the way to go and hopefully ensure that they won't match. And it's basically what Bergevin said, but he couldn't say those things. He couldn't go on there and be nasty about that and say it in those words. He couldn't. He already did what he did. He's already being looked at bad enough. He couldn't say that. So, but that is it. That's what they're gambling on. They're gambling on the fact that he doesn't have signing bonuses on his players, and he doesn't like to put out that kind of money, and he won't match. And I like to say then, I was asked what do I think. I guess it's probably better than 50-50 that will get him, but it's probably more like 55-45. Maybe 60-40, but I don't think it's better than that if you want to go by our percentage. Let's see. What do I think about the prospects we have now compared to 5 years ago? Oh, my God. It's like night and day. Apples and oranges. I can give you all the cliches you want. That's what it is. Have you gone back and looked at the names or just looked at videos and see the guys that were the prospects? It's almost laughable how, but I imagine if you did that every 5 years, you might have the same thing, because the truth of the matter is it's a small percentage of the prospects that actually make it. But the quality of the prospects themselves is way up compared to what they were back then. It doesn't mean more of them will make it to the NHL, but the quality of what we're getting is way up, and the chances of them making it are way up over what was then. And it's not that everybody back then was garbage, but we had some pretty bad. We did not have a full covered. Trent says kind of 50-50 on the Aho situation, in my opinion. Yeah, if it's right around there. I so hope we get Aho. We could really use an extra 35 goals. Oh, man, could we ever? I mean, there's no denying that. On the ice, what he brings to the team, what going forward, just the hockey point, never mind financial. Oh, boy, that's a hell of a pickup. And then, but you gotta temper in that financial part, and it still overall makes better sense than not. But believe me, that being said, there will come a point in this contract, if we do get him, where we're going to be struggling to find money to pay some of these guys that are coming up or after their entry-level contracts. And we'll look back on this and say this is where the problem was. So it will cause problems down the road, but the payback up until then can be great, and you kind of can't turn your back on that. Because down the road, 5 years from now, maybe the cap is so high that it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a problem. So that is that possibility too. But yeah, I think they did I just hope teams don't stop dealing with us because they're pissed at us for doing this. That's all. It's funny how our prospect pool got better in just 2 years. Yeah, it is. They really made some great picks and great potential picks these last 2 seasons. They really have done well. And we'll see if it pans out or not. I mean, the percentage of whether it pans out or not over any other year might be the same, and it doesn't really mean much. Or we'll find that, yeah, we made a lot of good picks of the class that was drafted. We got the higher percentage of them that made the NHL. We could find that out. I mean, it could go a lot of ways. Jimmy Crooks, Mark Benjamin will now have to be quick resigning our RFAs like KK and Paling so that they don't get offer sheeted. Right. Yeah, no, somebody made this point earlier today, and that's right. You got to look for, there's going to be maybe some revenge offer sheeting. Yeah, it might happen. Calgary's GM seemed to respect this bold move by Bergie in his interview. So maybe, and here's another point that I'm just tossing it out here off the top of my head right now, but maybe this is a trend to the future. Maybe Bergie's showing the balls right now, and this is going to be a trend of the future where people are going to make offer sheets. And you know what? I have a feeling it might be how the trend of the future that people do make offer sheets, and that maybe Bergie's just reading the trend coming, and he said, "I'm going to be the first one back into that." Who knows? Let's see. The old saying always was that you win at center. No, this is true. Center is that big position. Sherbak, McCarron, Tenorti, Bola were brutal examples. We had the chance to draft Pasternak, but end up drafting Sherbak. Yeah, brutal drafting. Brutal drafting. That's why I say if you look at the prospects we had back 5 years ago, it's apples and oranges. Now we have legitimate hopes for these guys to make the NHL. Not hope out of pride hope that because he's in the Canadiens organization, yeah, he's going to make it. But these are legitimate hopes. It's a big difference. I think this move by Bergie will prompt other GMs to use the offer. Did I read that already? But yeah, I think this could be a trend of the future. It could. It depends on the backlash. Now think about this. It depends. If Bergie gets a real big backlash over it and all that, then no. But if he keeps getting other GMs saying, "Oh, I think this was a bold move. I think it was a bold move," yeah, this could be a trend to the future. Because if he gets away with it, it's good. And let's put it, Montreal gets Aho, and we've done it, and we signed the offer sheet, and we got the player. It's going to happen again. At least we didn't draft Yakupov first overall. Oh my God. That was amazing. And he looked like a can't miss, but yeah. I mean, there's been a number of them over the years. Come on. And we did one. And I don't put Wickenheiser down in any way. I know someone thought I did the last time I said this. Wickenheiser was a great person. He was a good hockey player. But Denny Savard was better. And there's no doubt Denny Savard was better, and he was the local kid. Denny Savard was a legitimate great hockey player. You could see it was going to happen. And he was a local kid, and how we didn't draft him first overall that year is a crime. And it's nothing against Wickenheiser. And I don't know. Yakupov set me off on that. Yeah. Let's see. 2016, 0 prospects in the World Series. That's right. If you remember, we were getting nobody in the championship, in the tournaments. Nobody from our team. That shows you what kind of prospects we had. Much respect to Bergevin. His job is to make the Canadians better, not to be buddy-buddy with other GMs. He's trying to make... Well, this is true, and he said it. His job is to do his business, and he's responsible to the team and to Molson. The thing is it going to be going that way, or is it still the the old boys network kind of thing where they stick together and they don't hurt each other? But I think it's going in the new direction. Okay, another couple of minutes and then I gotta call it. I'm tired and yeah, I got a video still to do. I read that. Irving Grumman. You had to bring that up, Johnny? I was happy the rest of my life forgetting about Irving Grumman, okay? Very happy, and you had to bring him up. Thank you for that. He was horrible. 2 years ago, people wanted Bergevin fired. Dorion and Chiarelli are actually worse. We'll see next season. Look, I'm glad they gave Bergevin a little bit longer because he's proven that he's learned from his mistakes. Or, like I said earlier, were some of what his perceived mistakes, were they actually mistakes? Or did he have enough vision to see that he shouldn't have been doing making these deals instead of getting criticized for not making them, but he was probably right that he shouldn't have been making them. So he might have been a better GM over the last 5 years than anybody actually gave him credit for, and me included. Yeah, okay, I'll forgive you this one time, Johnny, but make sure that doesn't happen again, please. No talking about Irving Grundman. My God. Maybe the worst. No, okay. The second worst general manager in Canadians history, because the worst one was Ray Jean Houle. Like, or at least they're neck and neck. That's for sure. And I think on that note, we're going to take an end because it's 5:30 and I'm really, it's 5:30 or 39. Anyway, I'm really parched. I'm tired. Um, okay, anybody still here? I'm back on Saturday nights. Saturday nights are written in stone as much as they can be. 9 o'clock, Saturday night hockey talk. Hope to see you there. That's all through the summer. And as things come up, I might do live streams here and there. We'll see how that goes. But I'll definitely see you Saturday, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for taking part in most of you guys in all three of these. I have no words. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everyone, once again. Bye-bye.